like to call this meeting to order. Kelly, please call the roll. April 2nd, 2019.
Trustee Humper.
Here.
Trustee Malone.
Here.
Trustee O'Sullivan.
Here.
Trustee Rehberg. Trustee Frost.
Here.
Trustee Vela.
Here.
President Skillman.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for our invocation tonight. The Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Bow your heads with me. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I come to you tonight to lift up the village of Carpentersville and its leadership. Pray for tonight's meeting, and I pray for wisdom and peace to lead and guide the proceedings. And we're just incredibly thankful for this change in the weather and the beginning of an exciting new season here in Carpentersville. Heavenly Father, I pray for the safety of our first responders who are performing their duties even as I pray. And I pray for our local businesses to grow and thrive. I pray for our local residents to be safe and optimistic for the future. I pray for those who have plenty and for those who live in need, that we can come together as a community and serve one another. I just pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Good evening, everyone. Proclamations, resolutions, or awards. Tonight we have one proclamation regarding National Service Recognition Day, April 2nd, 2019. Whereas service to others is a hallmark of the American character and central to all of how we meet and challenge, and whereas the nation's elected leaders are increasingly turning to national service and volunteerism as a cost-effective strategy to meet their needs. And whereas AmeriCorps and Senior Corps participants address the most pressing challenges facing our communities. They educate students for the 21st century, jobs, fight the opioid epidemic, respond to natural disasters, and support veterans and military families. And whereas national service expands economic opportunity by creating more sustainable, resilient communities, and providing education, career skills, and leadership abilities for those who serve. And whereas AmeriCorps and Senior Corps participants serve for more than 50,000 locations across the country. Civic, the neighborhood, faith-based organizations, they are so vital to our economic and social well-being. And whereas national service participants increase the impact of the organizations they serve, well, through their direct service and by managing millions of additional volunteers. And whereas national service participants demonstrate commitment, dedication, and patriotism by making intensive commitment to service and commitment to remains with them in the future and their future endeavors. Whereas the Corporation of National Service Leaders shares a priority with the local leaders nationwide to engage citizens, improve lives, and strengthen communities. And is joining with the National League of Cities and National Association of Counties, Cities of Service, and local leaders from across the country for National Service Recognition Day for April 2nd, 2019. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, John Skillman, President of Village of Carpentersville, do hereby proclaim April 2nd, 2019 as National Service Recognition Day and encourage residents to recognize the positive impact of national service in our community, to thank those who serve and those who find ways to give back to their communities. Thank you. That was long. Okay, we have no appointments.
None tonight.
Public comment.
We don't have anyone signed up.
Consent agenda, next item. All items listed on the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of those items unless the trustee so requests, in which the event will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda.
A motion to pass the consent agenda?
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Trustee Humper, a second by Trustee Frost. Roll call, please.
Trustee O'Sullivan.
Yes.
Trustee Frost.
Yes.
Trustee Vela.
Yes.
Trustee Humper.
Yes.
Trustee Malone.
Yes.
and President Skillman.
Yes, motion carries. Next item, reports of manager and staff.
I'll turn it over to the clerk, who's going to give an update on the website.
I don't often get to do this, so I had to take advantage of it. I'm here on behalf of staff. We've had an ongoing project for over a year, about a year and a half, to revamp our website. We actually have a new vendor. It's going to be Civic Plus. They're the leader in government web design. So we've had a website team involved of several individuals who have continued to meet over the past year. Plus, each individual department has helped out as well. One of the benefits of this new website is each department is going to be able to maintain their own individual pages, whereas before we didn't have access. It was solely on IT to update everything. Now each department can go in, we can have more news on there, better updates, events, that sort of thing. So I just wanted to show you what the new website is going to look like. We're going to start at the top of the page and work our way down just so you guys can kind of get familiar with it. So obviously you see our new village logo, which that will be discussed, I know, ongoing as we do our branding effort. And then basically from the very beginning, one of the first things we wanted to make sure is that it's easy for residents and businesses, anyone who would be coming here. So you'll see the couple of quick drop-down menus. Agenda and minutes are easily accessible. You can actually go in and see those. It brings you to our agenda center. It has every single board and commission and all the minutes and also the links to our YouTube videos. Same thing, it's easy for people to go find the Board of Trustees. It's right under government. Load. And they have an easy way to contact any of you guys. You guys are all listed on the side with hyperlinks to your email. Same thing, it also has links within the website, so to get people to the agendas and minutes and things like that. That's one of the benefits of this website is it doesn't matter where you go, it often links to each other throughout the pages. So same thing over here under government, you're going to see that it has all the departments listed. It's easy for people to find if they're looking for the police department, the fire department, human resources for jobs, any of that. Services are easy to find. One of the biggest things we always have is people asking about water bills, that sort of thing. We want to make it easy to find. So this is only one location where it's at. There's several others. Same thing from the community aspect. We have all the links to other local places nearby, the township, the county, other places we work with frequently. And one of the biggest ones that we've seen on other websites, and I know I personally use when I go to other websites, is the how do I. That's often what residents are asking when they're coming to a website is how do I do this, how do I do that, how do I find a permit, how do I submit that there's a pothole nearby. So as you can see that this basically answers all of it, how to apply for a business license. Then if you go down, or actually still at the top, sorry. A big thing that we're also trying to get, we see residents like being engaged in our social media. So at the top of the page, there's direct links to our Facebook, our LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And then also right next to it, it's not active now, it will be the moment we launch our website, it's a predictive search bar. So as they start typing, it'll start guessing what they're trying to find. So whether it's permits, the police department, maybe they have a question on patios for community development. It'll start guessing and bring it up. As we go down farther, bear with me. Same thing, it's all about ease for the residents and businesses in our community. So some of this is, they call them like hot buttons, easily accessible. We found what are the things that people are always looking for. It's the agendas and minutes. Is there any open jobs? So the employment, report a concern. The same thing as like street lights, potholes. It has different phone numbers listed for the village if there's water issues. We go back again, the online payments. So if they didn't find it at the top, they can easily find it here, as well as FOIA requests, often for real estate transactions and that sort of thing. If you go down here, you're going to see one of the biggest things is our events calendar, our events and meetings. We do have it split up so that you can click on each tab and you'll notice the colors change so that you can easily see that it's two different ones. So for instance, right there you can see that's the Easter egg hunt for the Special Event and Parks Committee. If you click on it, it gives you more information. Same thing, all the meetings. This would be the board meeting, any of the commission meetings and such. Next to it are these tiles. These are more frequently used items. So we know for a lot of people are always asking about overnight parking and vacation watch. This gives you a really quick right to where we use the site for the police department where they can go in and enter their license plate or their address.
Right on there?
Yep, right through that website.
Was it Quadcom then, or?
Yes.
So hoping to avoid people getting overnight tickets and stuff, make
is
it
good.
easier for them to find it.
Awesome.
I love the shadow fox when you click on, events or meeting. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
you can see that one move. We try to incorporate it in little spots throughout. Same thing, we often know people are coming in for forms and permits, they're doing upgrades around the house. This is a quick link to community development and all the different permits and applications, instructions, how to do it. So the goal, again, is just to make it easy for people. Lastly, if you go down to the very bottom, this is the news flash section. So this will be for any updates probably within the next month or so, or any big items. So like you see our 2019 budget is listed, the water report that we have to, but also events like the Easter egg hunt to get it more notice. That's gonna be an area that we can frequently update. And basically, the other big thing about this website is the visuals. We want to showcase what Carpentersville really is. We have a lot of beauty. We have a lot of the forest preserves, recreation, the businesses. So it gives us the ability to put a ton of different pictures in there. And so whenever you go to different areas, you'll see different pictures throughout Carpentersville. And we anticipate our go live would be tomorrow, barring any
Great.
major complications. And there's no time lapse, so when we start putting it in, people, if they go to Seville and it's not fully loaded yet, it'll direct them to the old website. The moment the new one's ready, they'll start seeing this.
Awesome.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have one. I noticed there wasn't the link to remote access to the village email anymore at the site. What's the way to get there now?
For which email?
For us to get to our village emails remotely.
That one? I don't know, do you know? Okay. IT said they can
You'll
add
have
it it's for internals.
I stumbled into it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that can be added. Anyone else? Any questions or concerns? I think it's going to be a great tool for the residents.
I like
As a
the
clerk.
pictures, definitely. I'm glad there's a lot of nice pictures on this, and
Yes.
so.
And we can
looking forward
continue
going
to
through
add
it.
them. So
Good.
I always like to tell people, if you're out and about, bring your camera. We're always looking for more pictures of events and stuff. So please keep that in mind as well.
Pictures
looks
of,
great.
Chief Kilborn, so contact, so
Well, and as
we know what he looks like.
your picture's on here still. But as we go forward, and that can be, discussed, I mean, we have each department adding things, making it more personalized essentially, and helping make it more informative to our residents, which is the ultimate goal.
Tremendous upgrade over
Yeah,
there.
it's
Oh, it's-
nice, beautiful, thank you.
It's great we're moving forward with that. That's great.
Nice presentation,
Yep.
too. Nice and
Yeah,
short.
thank you,
Good job,
Kelly.
Kelly.
Sweet.
Thank you. Thank you, staff.
Thank you,
Nice job,
everybody.
guys.
Yes. Okay, anything else, sir?
No.
Not right now? Okay, next item is old business. We have old business continuing from the 319 meeting. A motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion?
I did want to invite Bob Cole, our Director of Public Works, up just to give a brief overview on the street sweeping and let the trustees know we did have some conversations since the last meeting and let you know what came of those.
Good evening. Just a real quick review. Street sweeping is an important function of all municipalities. Its purpose is to remove debris from the street as well as the curb line for aesthetic purposes. And it also reduces the volume of debris that enters the stormwater sewer system as well as removing debris from accumulating. As well as removing debris from accumulating on the grates of the storm sewers. As you know, we do have a lot of isolated locations here in town where flooding is prone, and by keeping those grates clean, why we reduce the risk of additional flooding. Prior to 2015, street sweeping was a function of the street division. However, due to a reduced staff and an aging street sweeper, a decision was made to to contract the street sweeping program out. And I'll be honest with you that when it was an in-house program, that it probably wasn't being done with the consistency of a contractual program. Some fun facts: the existing street sweeper that we have was purchased back in 2005 at a cost of $127,000. 13 years later, it has a resale value of about $42,000. A new sweeper purchased in 2019 will run us about $300,000. And 13 years from now, the resale value of that sweeper would be about $99,000, which is 1/3 of the purchase price. To date, the existing sweeper, we've spent approximately $60,000 on maintenance and repairs. The contractual street sweeping program since 2015, and if the program is approved tonight, we would have spent about $250,000. The 2019 street sweeping program consists of the entire village will be swept 3 times. The east side streets will be swept 7 additional times, or a total of 10. And one of the reasons why this east side is being swept more frequent than the west side is because the trees are more mature. In the springtime, there's a lot of seedlings that fall down, and of course in the fall time, just a ton of leaves. And we will be doing 4 additional sweepings this year compared to last year. Back in 2015, when we first started the program, we were very conservative as to the number or the frequency of sweepings. I didn't know where the bids would fall, and I wanted to be within budget. But since then, we have increased the frequency, and I think that the program that we have before the board today is a good, solid street sweeping program that we can move forward with in future years. However, to compare a contractual street sweeping to an in-house program, I had to determine the number of hours that our in-house staff would spend. And those hours are about 2,560 per year. Now, this isn't only the opinion of Bob Cole. I did reach out to Street Superintendent Jack Clifton, as well as the street sweeper operator, and I took an average of what all of our opinions were. And in October and November, if we did the program in-house, the demand for street sweeping exceeds the equipment that we have. One of the advantages of contractual is they'll be able to throw 2, 3, 4 sweepers on at one time and get everything swept up. So anyways, an in-house versus contractual cost over a 13-year period, and I chose a 13-year period simply because that's how old our existing sweeper is, and that's how long we have data for as far as maintenance and repairs. A 13-year labor cost, if we did it in-house, would be a little over $1.2 million. The price of a new sweeper is $300,000. Maintenance and repair, $60,000, which is what we spent in a 13-year period on our existing sweeper, which gives me a 13-year total of $1.562 million. However, we will sell our existing sweeper for $42,500 or thereabout, which reduces the cost of that program down to a little over $1.5 million. At the end of a 13-year period, we would resell the new sweeper that we purchased for $99,000, which brings down that program down to about $1.4 million. However, we would have to purchase another sweeper, and I built a 2% inflationary cost over a 13-year period, and that brings that cost would be $388,000, or an in-house total of $1.8 million. Compared to the contractual street sweeping program starting this year at $69,370, I did increase that cost 2% over the next 13 years, and I come up with a little over $1 million. So Contractual is a little bit less expensive than an in-house program. However, an in-house program does have its benefits. It'll require additional employees to match the sweeping frequency of a contractual program, and those employees can be used for other details throughout the year. They would be available for additional overtime demands of the Public Works Department, especially during the winter months. And that's really about all I have, and I'm open to any questions.
Yeah, if we're going to go contractual, and maybe this is part of it, in the fall, would people just rake their leaves to the curb and the contractual organization pick it up? Is that being
No,
contemplated?
we don't encourage people doing that. That it just increases the number
Well,
of...
there are some towns that'll come through and
There are
pick
some
up the
towns,
leaves.
but we do not.
So,
Dundee
don't
does it,
allow.
Elgin does it, West Dundee does
what,
it.
I mean, should we consider that in this overall cost? I'm sorry to, I mean, I'm asking. I know it's going to cost more money,
It's a separate
but.
truck that comes and sucks them all up.
I think they use the sucker truck for that, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yes.
It's a
And
different,
is that an
but-
additional
but-
cost
yeah.
to us?
I would have to do...
I don't mean
call
to throw a
on the prices
monkey
on
wrench
that.
in this, but if we're going to go ahead with this, let's look at the entire package.
I think,
No, I think that's good. I think that it's obviously easier for the residents.
Budget.
Yeah, but that'd be a budget thing for sure.
President Skillman, can I make a comment about putting the leaves on the curb? I do have a safety concern with that. There have been instances across the nation where kids play in the piles of leaves and cars, not paying attention, drive through the piles of leaves and thus hit the children. So I would definitely try to dissuade that.
no, for sure. Definitely. Any other questions, anybody? Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you,
All
Bob.
right, so we have a motion by trustee Frost, a second by trustee Humper. Roll call, please.
Trustee Frost,
Yes.
Trustee Vela,
Yes.
Trustee Humper.
Yes.
Trustee Malone,
Yes.
Trustee O'Sullivan,
Yes.
and President Skillman.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, our next item on the list is new business. Any new business, Kelly?
None tonight.
Okay, trustee reports. So, actually, I'm going to go first tonight. So I just wanted to discuss a little bit about our PACE bus route 803 tonight with our Foxview residents, Foxview Apartments. That we know and we understand that the bus route has been moved out to Kings Road. And it was, they did it suddenly. Obviously, PACE services were terminated due to the actions of the landlord. There's a new landlord, if people aren't familiar with it, down at Foxview Apartments, new property manager. So just a quick statement. The Village of Carpentersville is and remains a strong proponent of the public transportation and is disappointed in capital management's decision to prohibit PACE from operating on their property. We feel this places an undue burden on the residents of Foxview and is greatly limiting their ability to access reliable transportation. Village staff will continue to engage in conversation with Capital and PACE, which actually our village attorney talked to their attorney today, and I saw the email, actually. So there was some communication finally back and forth, which we haven't had in how many, couple months, few months?
February.
Since February, so I think after the meeting last week, it kind of opened their eyes to see what was going on. So there was some engagement today. So we are going to be talking to them to restore the service to Foxview. We can't promise anything, obviously, because it is private property at Foxview Apartments, and we're hoping that capital management will change their minds. I mean, obviously they're giving us a story about safety and protecting the residents, the well-being of our residents. So that's kind of how our involvement is right now. I mean, we can't tell a private property or company what to do, So we just wanted that out there on the record, and so everybody understands in our community also, because a lot of people don't know what's going on. So, but we did have a hearing here last week, and there was some good discussion. I think a couple of the trustees were there. I was on vacation last week, so I wasn't able to make it. Manager Johnson was also there for a short time, so. So I would entertain if anybody had any questions actually right now. Normally we don't do this. Normally you need to sign up if you wanted to talk to the board. And usually we don't really comment back until we, talk to the manager of the village and make sure we're all on the same, before we make comments in public. But if anybody has any questions, you're willing to step up right now, and that'd be awesome. And if you just want to state your name for us, please, that'd be great.
Hi, my name is Yolanda Arrington, and I'm a resident of Foxville. And I'm trying to find out what are some of the things we can do or reach out to someone about certain activities being taken away from the kids, and the kids not able to ride their bikes on the sidewalk. They only can ride them. We've been informed that they only can ride them in the streets where the cars come in at. And it's a lot of things that, I fully agree with trying to clean Foxview up, because some of the things that were going on down there were not right. But then it's a lot of things going on down there now that's making our lives very hard and very not able for us to deal with certain situations, like our family members being harassed for visiting, like going to take the garbage out. And I just had a stroke not too long ago, so I get a lot of help. And I understand. I'm grateful for them cleaning up the hallways, because it's peace down there now, and people. But a lot of other things down there is just not right, and I'm trying to find out who we can speak to or what can we do, because we're not even able to have summer programs for the kids down there anymore. Everything has been taken away. I know they came in to make things better, but they actually came in and made things a lot worse. Now, I do admit they did clean it up and they did get the guys out the hallway, but taking the programs out the place for the kids, and the kids not able to ride their bikes on the sidewalk, which places the kids in danger. The bus is being taken up out of there, which makes it hard for elderly people and people with children to get back and forth to where they need to go. A little girl almost got hit by a car. And it's just a lot of things being taken out of Foxview that they say is for the best of the people, but it's not. And then it's a lot of people scared to come and speak up because of fear of maybe being charged $2,100 for rent or being put out. I'm one of the young ladies that fought and won my case in court against Capitol because of bogus charges being put in my files about me fighting with the police and being arrested. I've never been arrested in Carpentersville a day in my life. But it's just a lot of things going on, and we don't have a clue who to talk to or what to do about it. And I speak for some of the people that it's a couple of people here, but it's a lot of people scared to even speak up, because what do you do when you got to worry about losing your house? Especially, all of us down there are not bad people. I work at Walmart. I've serviced you before at Walmart, and I try to do what's right. But I just don't think that this is right. This is not right for us to have to not be afraid for family members to take the garbage out, for some people who not able to take the garbage out. You got a lot of elderly people down there. And my concern is for them as well as these children. And I don't know what to do. I've thought about calling the news. Maybe someone hear a story. We were informed that it doesn't make any sense to reach the management of Capitol because he's just not going to listen to us. So I'm trying to ask, what do we do? Because Pastor Ball, a pastor that's been servicing the community down there for years, has been taken up out of here. There's no more free lunches and no more programs for the children. So then what do you do with the kids? Because when kids don't have anything positive to do, they tend to do bad things. So I just...
All right, no, we get it. Actually, I was going to say, we need to talk to Pastor Ball, but, so they've already stopped his programs too?
Yes, because my son is a pastor, is a member of his church, and I'm becoming a member of his church. But I served in a lot of activities that he had going on down there, and they took it out completely. Wow. There's no more free lunches. There's no more barbecuing on Thursdays and doing activities with the kids. There's nothing down there for those children to get involved in, period.
Okay.
So
I
just don't know.
I'm going to talk with Pastor Ball. We'll set up a meeting with Capitol management down there and try to get, can we get her information, please? And we'll get back to you and with some information, okay?
Okay.
Maybe consider summarizing the grievances and presenting those to Capitol.
Right.
I think that would be a good way to say, hey, these are our residents, and these are the concerns that are brought to us.
I can't believe Pastor Ball has already been cut out. I didn't hear that until.
I reached out to Pastor Ball last Friday, and we've been playing a little phone tag back and forth, so I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him. I just wanted to talk to him about what's evolved so far, and just see what his comments were.
Is
but
the clergy committee familiar with any of it?
As far as I know, Pastor Paul said that he's not aware of events being canceled there, but I just texted him.
Okay. So we'll find out more.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a breakdown in communication.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't got, I mean, we've been going back and forth with phone calls, so. Thank you, Yolanda.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have her, Yolanda, information.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. You can talk from there. You got the kids.
I have court on Thursday, and Capital Realty has brought to my attention fraudulent charges as well. In December, I was trying to move. We got through the background process, and due to me owing some money, that stopped it. So I paid the money in full, and because it took so long for them to process it, they just moved me to the bottom of the application where the other unit was, where I was gonna move. And now they're coming to me saying that I owe the money that I paid already, plus some more money for something that I don't feel like I should be held accountable for. I don't know how to go about that either. But I have until Thursday, my court date, and I don't know what to do about that, because if I don't pay it, and I'm not gonna pay it, because I already paid it before, they're basically saying if I don't pay it, I'm gonna get kicked out. And if we get kicked out, then we're gonna be home.
Batavia, if I could just address just briefly, and certainly I think everybody's sympathetic to what you're describing. The village does not have direct control over the management of the decisions that Capital, through Foxview Apartments, has with its residents. So nobody here has the ability, or within the village has the ability to tell them, how to interact with their tenants per se. So I just want to make that clear. The focus of what we're wanting to open up the dialogue and what President Skillman addressed was really targeted at the aspect of public transportation as it pertains to, the village's roadways and such. So,
Okay for them to bring fraudulent charges against people so they can kick people out intentionally, like they know exactly what they're doing. They're being messy, they're coming in people's houses when people are not there, they're stealing, and they only calm it down once you get the authorities involved, and then after it slows down and they start again, you come back to your house and start stealing and all this stuff. Who do I go to? I make police reports, and it only stops once I make a police report, and then probably about 2 months later, then they start slowly come back and doing it, and I know because I intentionally buy stuff and put stuff places and it's missing. It's been going on for too long and nothing's happening about it, and it's not okay. I could have been moved, but I didn't move because I said, they're not gonna stop with me, they're gonna continue to do this, and nobody should have to go through what I have to go through with Foxville and Carpentersville in general.
we appreciate your comments. I think we,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you have some for her? To help her, maybe?
I've been going to a lot of the young ladies, because a lot of young ladies have been getting bogus charges put on them, because I'm one of the ladies. But I chose to fight. And I have been going to a lot of young ladies and giving them a lawyer's number to paralegal state, who has represented a lot of young ladies there.
Okay, good.
I just don't want to overstep my boundaries by going around knocking on people's doors and giving them numbers, and then they come and kick me out. But if you come and see me after this, and you get this number, and you call paralegal state, they'll represent you free of charge, 'cause that's how one of my cases are. So we can get together afterwards, and anybody else you know that need them on the tell, I'm right here.
It's nice of you to share that
Thank you,
information.
yes. Yes, ma'am.
Management is, my dad is 70 years old. He's a retired bus driver. I have a niece stays out there who also, her name is Carpentersville. I have another niece who stays out there. I feel real like these are my brothers and sisters' kids. My daddy's 70 years old, so I'm gonna tell you what happened. My brother came from Springfield, Illinois to give me a car, so he took me back with him. But before he took me back with him, they had the new security background. And now remind you, on the paper which we signed, it say anybody who is a resident, if you have guests, they must be chaperoned by you. My brother actually got the car with him. Before my brother can get to my bus, they like, hey, you, come here. My brother did like this. He's like, what did I do? I said, what did he do? You know, to me, that's harassment. My daddy's 70 years old. I feel like if he comes to visit his granddaughters or me, who is his daughter, his youngest daughter, he should be able to walk to their house without them harassing him. He's 70 years old. He doesn't have a background. He doesn't have any warrants. He's a retired bus driver. He had 6 kids, beautiful kids that he raised all of us with, both mom and dad. So I don't understand. My dad don't even like to come to my house because he said, why are they stopping me for? And I'm like, why are you stopping him? Now he's losing his vision. So actually, he has to get close up on you just to see your face. And that did something to me in my spirit because I'm like, what did he wrong? Why are you harassing my father? You know, and when it comes to your parents, and I'm quite sure anyone in this room, when it comes to their parents, they're gonna feel the same type of way. So, and then I also have 5 boys. I'm a mother of 5 boys. I have an artistic son. Here's my thing, my artistic son can't play outside, I don't feel, because at the same time, you know, Foxview they tell you, well, in your lease, if you have any problems, call the police, do this, and you try to go the right way and do the right thing. But the moment you call the police, then they send you a letter at your door stating, well, this is termination of lease because you called the police. So if I feel like my life in danger, or my artistic child, or any of my 4 boys, which was for you know my boys is with, I'm gonna take all legal cautions, that's all fine and dandy, but you will not have the right to send me a letter and say, you in the termination of your lease because you called the police, so what do you think we should do about that? Now, if I react in self-defense, then the first thing you wanna say is, I'm gonna put you out. Why? I'm doing the right thing, this is what you asked me to do, so then you cannot send me a letter and say, oh, well, like I did something wrong. I can't control everybody in Foxview. I can't control anybody in life, personality, because if I could, this whole world would be a better place. Everybody has their flaws. Everybody has attitudes. You might run into, even when you go to work, you might have some people with, you know, attitudes that you have no control of. What do? You be adult and you ignore certain things. That's what keeps you out of trouble. That's why I'm 39 years old. I've never been in trouble with the law. I don't have no felony, no background, nothing. I have 5 boys, which is good boys. Some of them, well, my 10-year-old, he's 10. At the end of the day, what can I say? My dad is 71%. He hasn't did anything to anybody to be harassed. And it's just a shame, like, even if they pull up, I feel like if you pull up from out of town anywhere, and you park your car and you come into my house, they shouldn't be harassing you unless they, now, I do understand, if you see them standing on the corner, you see them shooting dice, I understand all of that. I moved out of Chicago for a reason. When they called us for here, I was so quick to move because like I said before, I have 5 boys. I didn't want my sons ending up dead. I didn't want them ending up in the streets. I don't want them ending up gangbang. When I got here, I thought it was okay. But now all of this stuff, it is just too much. And for me to have an artistic son, this stuff that I deal with on a daily basis, just dealing with this one child alone. And then now I got to deal with this. And then now they send me a letter saying, oh, you owe rent. But the last management, which I called staff as, they said, you don't owe anything. We never told Capital that you owe them anything. So I'm like, where did this come from? So yes, like I explained to them, I am refusing to pay, even though it's ain't nothing but $500. I'm refusing to pay it because I'm not gonna pay rent twice for
Time's up.
something I paid once. And that just it. If I don't stand up for myself, nobody will ever care.
Okay, all right. We need to move on with the meeting here, but just so you guys understand what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to set up a meeting with them. They can refuse. They've refused to talk to us since December, so everybody knows that. So that's on the record. So everybody understands that's here. They totally refused to. They moved that bus. They didn't care what we thought. So, anyways, we're going to set up a meeting with them, and we will definitely, we're going to work with Pastor Ball as soon as somebody gets a hold of him. I don't know where I haven't talked to him in a month.
No, he returned my call. I just haven't gotten a chance to talk to him, but,
Did he text you back?
Yeah, I just been texting with him. I'll call after the meeting, kind of bring him up to speed on everything. If we can get phone numbers and contact information for all you folks.
And we can have a meeting, and we'll have it down there at someone's apartment, you know? So we'll.
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Jeff's going to bring the cookies.
Jeff will bring the cookies.
That's Trustee Frost, I'm sorry.
I think that we're moving forward. Finally, they've returned phone calls, and there's actually been some emails go back and forth. So there's been some progress. So that's a good
But
thing,
again, we
especially
can't
after our meeting the other night.
Promise you anything at
Yeah,
all.
absolutely,
because this
absolutely.
is-
I mean, that's
It's private.
It's private property.
Company
That's the
running
problem.
the show. You know, all we can do is hold some stuff over their heads, but I'm not going to say that in public, but, yeah, so.
We're moving forward.
No.
Let's just continue to meet with them.
All right,
Yep.
thanks, Trustee Frost. All right, so let's move on here. Trustee reports, Trustee Vela.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a chance to exercise the right, great American right to vote today, because every vote counts. So if you have not registered, please do so that you can participate in our next elections. It's very important that you do. And also, remember, please, that April is Autism Awareness Month. So let's wear blue throughout the month and support our autistic children. And also, we're extending the invitation for you to join us for our Easter egg hunt. It will be on Saturday, April the 20th at 11:30 at Carpentersville Park. So please join us.
Thank you. Trustee Frost.
Okay, I'm sure that everyone's seen the news lately regarding the officers, the state officers that have been hit by vehicles out on the road. I can't emphasize enough to say, move over, just slow down around them. Not only the state police, but obviously our home officers and police department. When there's somebody pulled over, please just get over to the side and slow down. Want to say, continue to patronize our businesses in Carpentersville, not only the ones that are outside of the construction sites, but the ones that are in the construction sites. Sometimes construction has a burden on their businesses, and we want to continue to patronize those. I want to say thanks to the BDC Business Development Committee for all the work they put in on the new website, and the staff for everything that they've done, IT, for what they've done to get this going. It's been a lot of work, and that also brings me into the chairman of the BDC, Paul Humfer. He's put a lot of time and effort, and I want to say thanks to him. Tonight's his last meeting. He's been a board member for how long, Paul?
14 years.
14 years. I want to say thanks to Paul for all the work he's put into this village and all the time that he's put in. He was here when my father was here years and years ago, and I just want to say thanks on a great job and the time that he's put in for us. Not just the board, but for the whole village. So thank you, Paul, and we appreciate it.
Jeff, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Trustee Humfer.
So I want to just talk about Business Development Commission. I'm still working up to my last day, so but just, we're working together. We're trying to put together an implementation plan for the rebranding effort. And some of the things we discussed at the last meeting, social media, videos that we're moving forward with. The website is a huge move forward for the village, so that's good to see. We're looking at official rollout of the logo, but you can see it up there, so we are moving forward with that. And then from there, just determining what we should do to continue this process of rolling out the rebranding effort and really putting a positive spin on Carpentersville. And we'll continue to do that with videos, promotional items, things like that. We're going to have, I think in the videos, it'd be nice for people to share their experiences with Carpentersville, businessmen, people that have lived here their whole life. And we're looking forward to this moving forward. So we're putting together a plan to make sure that occurs. So I have one more Business Development Commission meeting left. Someone else will have to do the report on it at the board level. But this is technically my last meeting. I'll be here at the next meeting, but it'll be like we'll have roll call. The new trustees will be sworn in, and then that'll be it for me. So it's my last trustee report. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. But I think the first thing, oh boy, here we go. I think the first thing I want to do is thank all the residents for having faith in me to reelect me to office several times. We've made a lot of changes here in Carpentersville. I started to put together a list. I don't think I can make through everything I've got here, but just some of the big highlights. When I started, we were getting no opinions from our auditors. We haven't looked back. We've had clean opinions, I think, for the last 10 years. I mean, that was huge. We got our back office in order, our accounting in order. Our bond rating is one of the highest in Northern Illinois. The street plan we put together, it was a mess when we got, the consultants came in, showed us this big red picture with all red lines on our streets. They were all like beyond, some of them were beyond repair. So we started a plan to put that together, and I think we've done a good job. Lake Marion, Maple, or some other streets, Miller Road. And then unfortunately you're dealing with construction now, but I'm looking forward to how good that's going to look down Main Street with bike paths and more accessibility for people to move through that area of town. Businesses, I was here for Walmart, Home Depot, the Woodman's expansion to the outlots, and many other stores that I'm just so grateful that we were able to work with these people to bring them into town. The grocery store here on the corner, we lobbied them after Jewel moved out to move in and worked out an agreement for them to move into that spot. Winchester Glen, closing off some of the other subdivisions as far as finishing building the houses and admitting those to the village. Just a lot of good things. Carpentersville is still moving up, though. We still are moving in the right trajectory of improving day to day, being progressive, listening to our residents. And I appreciate all you people coming out tonight to express your concerns of what you're dealing with in your side of town. Don't ever change that, guys. Always be that interactive board with your residents. Listen to what they say, and things will continue to move in the right direction. I thank you all. Thankful to all the people I served with over the years, whether past presidents, past board members. Sometimes it always wasn't a good discussion, but you know, from contrast, we learn. So it was beneficial. So, but I really appreciate everything that's I've had being able to do this job. It's been very nice, and I'm sad to go, but it's time for me to move on. So thank you, Carpentersville.
Thank you. Thank you. Trustee Malone.
Wow, I got to follow that, huh? Well, I guess in keeping up with moving forward, I'm going to use my time. I had a meeting with responsible bidder ordinance people, and I'm just suggesting something maybe we can look into. Oh.
What are you talking about?
I have information literature. Can I pass it out and everyone can just take a look on their own time?
Yeah, of course.
That's, Brad suggested I do that during my time.
Okay.
So that's it. And I guess I also met with the Delkey Creek Fox River Watershed Coalition people for the first time. And that was quite interesting. I learned a little bit, looking forward to learning more. And I learned a lot about creeks in one day. So,
They were very happy that you were there, I know, so.
so we'll try to keep that, get more information in the future.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee O'Sullivan.
Just a very brief report. I guess the polls are closed, so I can thank everyone who voted for me, both of you. Thanks, Mom and Dad. We were running unopposed, so I suppose it's a little bit anticlimactic, but thanks, President Skillman, for your confidence in me to appoint me to the to the first part of the term, and thanks to everybody who, in all seriousness, who did vote for me, in spite of the fact they were running unopposed. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to, we have no closed session tonight. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Motion, Trustee O'Sullivan. Have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Second, Trustee Frost. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.